really happen. And that is why we're here, and we're going to be getting into it, right away. So I'm Temi Olajide. As you know, I know many of you would know me as the founder of Mummyclinicc. I'm a parent coach, an author, and also a child psychologist. So when you understand your children, you're able to get, the best out of these, children. So that's why that's why um that's why I'm able to adequately pass the message across that would help you get to understand these children. And when you get to understand them, then boom, you start to say, oh my God, so children are so pleasant, to understand like this. But trust me, they're all a whole vibe on their own. So moving ahead. So I promise you, this is a promise, that by the end of this webinar, you will be equipped with the knowledge of what is required of you to be intentional with practical ways on how to become one and start to raise well-rounded, future adults. Because what we're doing now is not about us, it's not about today. It's about the future of these children. We can see that many adults that we have now, they are, even some of us are, we need to be fixed. Oh dear, thank you so much. I can see all your comments. Thank you so much. So many of us, we still need that. We need to be fixed at in one way or the other. But what we're saying is that when you are intentional, when you are deliberate about your child, right, you start to understand that child and you start to do what will get out, because when I tell parents, it's not about just raising a child. You want to raise the best version of each of your children, right? And those are the strategies that I will be sharing with you today. And you can see that beautiful mug. What is it saying? You can see it, the world's best mom, right? Can you see that beautiful mug? Let me see, type in comments. Can you see that beautiful mug? World's best mom. It is not world's best mom to the world, though, to your children. Your children are saying you are the world's best mom. So there's no point of comparison. We're not comparing our journey with everyone. We're all unique. So when you're seeing that mug, right? When you're seeing that mug, always remind yourself, I want you to type it there. I'm the world's best mom to my children. I'm going to tell you to be typing a lot, because what I've noticed is that it's what you say to yourself that you become. If you don't say it to yourself, people will define it for you. So type in the comments, I'm the world's best mom. So being the world's best mom to your children, I'm the world's best mom to my children. So you know that you are not competing with any friend, any family member. It is your children. Good, remember that. I'm the world's best mom to my children. So always remember that. When you remember that, trust me, this journey is more interesting because you are focusing on your focus. It's not about any other person out there. Okay, so I know we all have one, we all have something similar, and it's not only you that you are like this. So I got this message. We're not alone in this thing. I got this message a month ago, right? I always get messages like this anyway. I always get messages like this, and I always get messages like this, on a day-to-day basis. But this one stood out for me, and I'm going to read it for you. I remembered having a chat with a mom that reached out to me some months ago, and she wrote, "Hi Temi, sorry to bother you this later." And I think she did, she had a typo there. But I need someone to speak to, and you came to mind. I love my kids, but I'm not enjoying being a mom. How many of you feel that way? You love these children, but it's like it's so overwhelming being a mom. It's like I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled, because it's like I'm not getting everything, all the work I'm putting in. I'm not even seeing any results. Like these children, I have to shout. I have to do everything to get them to listen. And I feel bad about this. She feels bad, which every one of us feel bad. If you're like this mom, type it out. See my life. Tell me, this is me. This is me. I love my children, but I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying it. It's not because I don't love being a mom. I love it, but I'm not enjoying it. But just thinking, is it just me? It is not only her, because I get so many messages, and that was why I decided to do this. It's like my day is practically spent on my demanding work and the children, and I barely even have time for myself. That would have been okay. Like, she's even okay. Okay, let me even have a demanding job, right? Let me even, let me take care of my children and not take care of myself, which many of us, you don't take care of yourself. You leave everything aside and focus on these children. She was even okay with that, but Trust, see, but it's like my kids are on a different wavelength with me. How many of you are your children? It's like your children are on a different wavelength. Type it. It's true. Tell me, I agree with you. This mommy is like me. I understand that. It's like I'm on a different wavelength. Like, is it because I shout too much? She's asking, but why won't I shout when it seems they can't hear me? How many of you are like this, mom? Like, you shout and shout, you repeat yourself, but it's like they cannot even hear you. Type it there. Say, tell me, this is me. This is me. Let me know if I'm speaking to the right people. Anyway, not to bore you with my long story, I'm so overwhelmed and confused as to, as to understand what exactly I'm not doing right. She's asking, what exactly is she not doing right? Please, what can I do? I want to enjoy being a mom and raise the best version of my children, as you fondly say. I laughed at this one. I always say, you can enjoy your mommy life. Right? Yes, we can enjoy it. This one that you see me dancing and laughing, yes, I'm enjoying my mommy life. But is it easy? It is not easy. Let me tell you the truth. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. But what do? We just have to enjoy it. And when you know that it's a journey, it's a lifelong journey, you just have to just make up your mind that I'm going to enjoy this journey irrespective of, whatever is going to take from me. So let's move on. So let me see your comment. How many of you are like this, mommy? Like, tell me, this is like you are describing me. It's like you are describing me. Let me know. Exactly, we feel frustrated. These children is like they can frustrate us, but it is not their fault. And I will get to what exactly you have to start to do. So this is us, right? Many of us are like this. And many times when they come, when they come like that, what happens? We usually hold one-on-one sessions. But how many people how many people will I hold one-on-one sessions with? And aside that, it's not everybody that can afford a one-on-one session. And that was why I decided that, okay, if this is a common problem, tell me, just organize something. Let these moms know at least a foundation to how to start to enjoy a peaceful parenting, how to enjoy their life while they raise the best version of their children. And that was why this webinar, came to manifestation. To manifestation, exactly. They can push you to the wall. Exactly. I understand. Me too. I've been there before till I started to apply all the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you. So we move on. So be sure to leave your questions. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, but I would advise that maybe you leave your questions till when we're done, because the comment session now, I would lose track of the comments, because the platform we're supposed to use, we wouldn't have had this issue. So, but please write your questions down as they're coming to mind. Write them down. I'm sure going to take it at the end of this webinar, because I'm here for you, because we've even had that, a slight delay. I'm here for you, and I'm going to, definitely address all your questions. Okay, so by the end of this webinar, like I've said, you will be equipped with the knowledge of what is required of you to be an intentional parent, and get practical ways on how to become one and start to raise well-rounded future adults. But this can only happen, yes, so this is the caveat, right? There's a caveat to it. This can only happen if you take actions on what you've learned today. So I can talk from morning till night. If you do not take action, trust me, you will still remain unhappy, frustrated, and overwhelmed. That is the same mom you're going to be. So tell yourself that I'm going to take actions. Type in the comment section, I'm going to take actions from tonight. I'm going to take actions, because if you do not take actions, you will still be in that same place that you were before you started. And I'm sure you don't want to waste your time. You don't want it to be like you came on this webinar and at the end of the day, you didn't do nothing about what you've learned, because that is the only difference of people that have experienced results. Because I heard some moms, when you tell them, oh, this is what you need to do, oh, they will say, oh my, it is not easy. Oh, how am I going to do it? It is not easy. Being a parent is a lot of work. Trust me, even with my own, it's a lot of work. Being intentional requires, so it requires work. You need to put in that work, and you need to put in that effort. And like I tell parents, God can only bless your effort. If you are just praying and you're not doing anything, you are just doing your own. God blesses the works of our hands, and He's going to bless what the effort that you have put into, your children. So we move on. We move on. Yes, I can see I'm going to take actions, because that is where the blessing is, or will I say, that is where the magic is. So before we get started, I want us to be fully engaged when I'm saying, because by the time I start, I might not be able to talk so much through the comment section, but when I'm saying what it's home or sounds familiar to you, or is making sense, just type in the chat, but just be saying fire on, fire on. When I'm just seeing that, even if I'm not responding, fire on. That is all. That is what I need you to do as we start now. Before we get started, like I said, type in fire on when I'm making sense. Okay, type in fire on. So we move, we move forward. So I plan not to take any, so much of your time as we start, right now. So ensure you wait till the end, as I have a free gift that will take your intentionality to 120%. What did I say? 120%. That is the free gift I'm going to send. I'm going to send the access to you. If you're patient enough to wait till the end of this webinar, you're going to get that gift into your mailbox as soon as we're done, with this webinar. Okay, so ensure you stay till the end to be able to get your free gift. And trust me, you know me now, we deliver value when it comes to Mummyclinicc. It will take your intentionality to 120%. So we're starting. So I hope you can see my screen. As you can see, parenting is likened to a gardener being given a specific type of seed. So now I want to analyze what your job is. I want to analyze, if you don't get anything out of this webinar today, stay with me for the next few minutes. I want to explain what this is to you. If you can get this, trust me, you start to see your job as a parent in a different dimension. When you get this, you have gotten what your job is as a parent, and you understand why you really need to be very, very intentional. So parenting is likened to a gardener being given a specific type. So you can see those fruits. You can see orange, and can you see that orange? That orange and the apple tree. You can see that they are even different. Orange, even the look of orange is different from apple. That is the same way with your children. Your children are different. Even having children, your own children, not to even think of, other people's children. If you have 2 children, they are completely different. 3 children, they are completely different. So no matter how many kids you've got, they are completely different. You can see orange is different from, apple. And that's the same thing. So when you visualize your parenting, your seed is your child, right? God has blessed every one of us that we have children that, okay, whether it's your own biological children or not your biological children, you have responsibility, and that is your own seed. You've been given that seed. So what do we do with a seed? We plant it and we nurture it, because that seed, if you don't nurture it, it cannot grow. Your seed cannot become a fruit tree. It cannot become this fruit, right? We're all seeing this particular orange, beautiful, fine. It will be like, this fruit will be so sweet, right? And the nurturing, raising, when the gardener is nurturing their trees, their fruit trees and everything, their garden, you can see they put so much effort into it. You would notice that some people, when you see some orange trees or apple tree, you will see that they are not so fruitful. You would notice, you say, see how this orange tree looks. It has only maybe 3 fruits on it. Didn't they nurture this tree well, right? Or maybe they've planted that orange tree. Maybe you're going to plant your orange tree somewhere else that is not adequate for your child. So when you start to see your child as a seed that it is for you to nurture, so you know what you need to do. And to nurture, what do you need? You need water, right? Because if there's no water, it will dry up. It will dry up. It will not be fruitful. It will not be so fruitful. And if you now want a fruitful harvest, that's where you are able to see which gardener knows their job well. So which parent knows their job well. We're not winging it. The world of winging parenting is gone. If you wing it, God can help you. But trust me, I'm a child psychologist. Winging days have gone, because your children are moving on a very fast, very fast-paced world, so they will even leave you behind. So that's why you have to be intentional. And I thank you for coming on this, on this webinar, because it is part of the whole thing, right? So to nurture, what do? You water it, you put manure, right? That's the same way when you are, you have your child. What are my child's gifts? What are my child's talents? What can I put into this child to get the best out of this child? That's the same thing this gardener is doing. What can I do to get the best out of this seed, that I can have a bountiful harvest? And you can see that having a bountiful harvest, you can see bountiful harvest, bountiful harvest, in the sense that means it is possible for you not to have a bountiful harvest as a gardener. So that means the work you're going to put in your children, and you expect a bountiful harvest, is going to be different from the work another person that is not ready to take the work, to do the work and say, well, however this child turns out to be. And I know none of us want our children to just turn out anyhow. We have a goal. We have a picture of what we want our children to, to become. And that is why you need to be deliberate about how you nurture your own children. What are your own manures that you're going to put in your child? How are you going to water your own, children? Are you going to water your child just once a day? Or are you going to water it all the time? And the gardener as well. Do you know that it's not every time that is raining season? So the time that is dry season, what will the gardener do? The gardener will do more work to water it. That's the same way with our children. There are some seasons of our life that is not easy for us, but you have to do all you can to continue to nurture that child. And you can see that work is into a fruitful tree. That means until they become what? Adults. So your bountiful harvest is not what you are going to see today. So I know some of you will be frustrated and saying, oh, and I'm putting in so much work, but I'm not seeing the reward. What am I telling you? Continue to put in the work. You would see the harvest. You will see that fruitful tree in years to come. Till your children are adult, that's when you beat your heart and say, yes. Though you'll be seeing your results now, but it's when they are grown that you will know that you have done proper work on these children. So if you can understand this concept, you will know that parenting is not a joke. You would understand that you need to do more work than somebody that does not care how their child turns out to be. So if you can take this, if you can just start to think this every day when you want to do something, maybe when they upset you, or you just want to get tired of being a parent, remind yourself that this is my responsibility. I'm going to nurture. I'm not going to get tired, of nurturing my children, and everything I need to do to nurture. To nurture, you need different things to be able to nurture. And when you are nurturing as well, do you know that this garden, it will start to, when it's rainy season, you start to see weeds. Do you know weeds? When your children are now making friends that are not good, or let me not say they're not good, that cannot add value to their lives. Maybe your children, you start to see some habits, behavior. You are thinking, where did this child bring this one from? I've never seen you do this before. Where did that come from? That is the weeds. Those are the weeds of life. And the gardener would not leave his garden to be full, filled with weeds. You will have to weed. Is weeding a garden, is it easy? Hey, type it. Is it easy? Fire on. Thank you so much. Is weeding a garden easy? It is not easy, moms. It is not easy. But what will happen? You have to weed it out. So when you start to see things that are not right, and that is where intentional parenting comes in, you are able to quickly identify what is not going right again. When you start to see, my child does this before. My child, I didn't have this issue before. Where is this issue coming from? No. You quickly weed it out. And you know that even with these beautiful trees, fruitful trees that we're seeing, there's a season that they need to prune it. When it is growing out of place, you will start to prune it. Is pruning easy? Pruning is painful to that tree. So there's some ways you're going to raise your children that they will not be happy about it. I tell my children, it's not everything that I do that you will be happy about, but I'm doing whatever I'm doing is to your best interest. So you tell your children, it's to your best interest. You don't have to be happy with my decision, but I'm going to do what is best for you. So that is pruning. When we are pruning them, we're saying, this part of this stem is not supposed to be here. This behavior is not supposed to be here. You cut it out. So those are the things. So that's where discipline comes in. So when we're saying don't spank your children, we're not saying don't discipline your children. We're just saying it is not the best, effective way of discipline your children, but you have to discipline, you have to correct them. You don't take your eyes off it. The Bible that says, spare the rod, spoil the child. The rod is act of correction, not that you should be spanking and beating your children. No, the Bible is saying correct your children. Don't take your eyes off any inappropriate behavior. When you see something is not right, quickly correct it, and that is where pruning takes place. So you can see with this simple illustration, you are good to go. You're good to go. So we're moving ahead. So when you remember this slide, you remember that, I got it. This work is not easy, but I'm going to put in that work to get the best. Because if I don't put in that work, I cannot, have my great harvest. So I move to the next, illustration. So I will now build on these illustrations. So parenting in the digital age is also likened to a city. I like illustrations. I like to be practical, because when you are practical, when you see life as it is, even you would remember everything. In your sleep today, you'll be seeing or you'll be hearing my voice. Parenting in a digital age is also likened to a city without walls, compared to when you were raised with a city with walls. So you can you see my cities? Can you see the one that does not have walls? Can you see the one that has walls? So when we were raised, we had walls, around us. So walls in the sense that we were raised with school, our school, there was no internet. Whatever our parents whatever they tell us to do, we just say, eh. Imagine when they told us that, especially we moms, that if a man touches you, you would be pregnant. Imagine. And we believed. Many of us believed we were in the university. Imagine telling a child in the digital age, 3 years old, tell me, will your 3 years old even believe you that if they touch you, if a man touches you, you will get pregnant? That is the case where we grew up. With walls, the information you were given is not beyond school, church, or your mosque, and your house, your home, your parents. But now it's a whole world. I can tell you what is happening in America now, in China now. You can see our moms from all over the world joining us here. Imagine this is the world your children are going to grow. So is the method, the way that they raised you, is it going to work for your children? All these ways that you've been trying to raise these children. And that is why when you're not getting results, what happens? You have to change tactics. When you do something, and that's why what I tell some moms, if you're saying you want to spank your child, if it's working for you, continue, right? If it's working for you. But if it's not working for you, then you need to quickly change tactics, because there's so many other ways that you can get results without spanking or shouting or screaming at your children before you get on the same page with them. Okay, so parenting. So you can see this other city. You can see some people can come in through the water, some people can come in through land. So that is the way we are raising our children now. So what do you think you're going to do differently from the walls, the city with walls and the city without no walls? That means you have to be armed. Like, hey, because this one, there's no, with the city without walls, you can just put soldiers or ammunition at the exit and at the entrance and say, oh, just guard this gate. But in this digital age, there's no gate. There is no gate. So what do? You now, you arm yourself. What are the tools that I need that will be able to tell my child, that place you are going to miss road, come back here, is this way. So that means in this digital age, you need constant guidance. You have to constantly guide your children. You have to constantly communicate with them. If you don't do that, you would lose them. You can see in that city with walls that we were raised, they don't need to communicate with us all the time, because we know, I think I'm a bit safe. At least if I go out, the area is safe enough. There are soldiers at the gate, but there's no soldier at the gate of the digital age. It is exposed. It is exposed. That means if you don't guide your children, they will get lost. In a city with walls, you cannot get lost because you cannot get out of the city. But without walls, they will get lost. That means you have work to do. You have to be very, very, very deliberate when it comes to this. So with these two, illustrations, trust me, your parenting journey is 50% solved. When you understand this, then you know that no, you cannot give up on your children. You cannot give up on your duty as a mom. You have to keep pressing, keep doing. If you try one method and it's not working, try something else. Don't be too fixated and say, oh, this worked for your brother, it should work for your sister. Trust me, no. You try something else. With the consequences in my own home, we have at times different consequences for different different child. One consequence might work for one and one might not work for the other one. So when you try and it's not working, what should you be thinking? Think ahead and say, okay, let me try something else. Don't stay on one position and say, oh, this was what my mommy and your grandmother used for me to work for you. Trust me, sorry, you would lose your children. So you have to be very, very deliberate. So we move ahead, right? So how to be, right, we are moving forward, how to be an intentional parent. So taking your parenting journey as seriously as you take your parenting journey as seriously as you take your career and marriage, right? Many of us with our business, we would invest money, we will invest time. We're always working, we're always looking for money to do this course on making more money, to do this course on, you know, my career development, how to write my CV, my marriage, how to love my husband better, how to be a great wife. But what resources are you putting into your children? Even if you are saying you don't have money, let's even assume that. What time are you investing time into these children? So this is what you have to start to do if you want to be an intentional parent. I've spent money. When they say money in six figures, is millions, six figures, millions when it comes to my children, in investing in their talent, their, you know, their gift, whatever it is, their interest. I don't joke with it, because I know to get the best from these children, I have to do the work. So be prepared as an intentional parent to invest time or you invest money, whichever one you want to do. You have to be able to be prepared, you know, for that. So as you are thinking, oh, how do I increase my sales? How do I do better in my work, you know, at my place of work? Be asking yourself, how can I be a better parent to my children? Then be steps ahead of your kids. Parents with the future in mind. So let me explain this. So let me just give you an example. Let me practicalize it so that you get it when you are parenting your children. So some people would say, oh, I want to parent my children so that they will be street smart. They can enter cabs, maybe taxis, you know, like in Nigeria now, like all these, is it like transport vehicles, not Uber, not Uber. So my question is, okay, look at your children in the next 5 years. Will you want your children to enter the normal taxi? Maybe they would want to enter, you know, use Ubers. So what you are supposed to be doing now is teaching your children how to take Ubers, how to go online and book for Ubers. Not that you will be forcing them to go and enter taxis. I'm not saying to enter taxi is wrong. I'm just saying so that when some parents are saying, my child does not know how to enter taxi. Hey, this child is fault. Don't compare. Look at the future of your child. Is my child's future where I want my child? Let me even say, okay, maybe you want your child to study abroad, or in, you know, for even some of the moms that are here that are in other parts of the world as well. Their own is, okay, how can I teach my child to know how to book for Ubers? How can I teach my child? You know, that is what I mean by parenting, you know, with the future in mind. So let's give an example of some of our parents in Nigeria as well. Maybe you say, oh, my child, I need to teach my child how to go to the market and price stuff. What is the future of your child? So if I say, I want my child to study in a developed country, the type of market that exists in Nigeria does not exist in the developed country. So what will you start to teach your child? Okay, how do you go online to shop? That is when they get to that age, because obviously before you say you want to take a child to the marketplace, your child will at least not be less than, let's say, 8 years old. So how do you shop online when you're an adult? So that is what I'm saying. Parents with the future. Think, what is the future of my children? Are you with me? Please drop it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Drop it, fire on. Let me see that. So parents with the future in mind. I shouldn't dwell too much on that. I hope you've gotten that. So sit and ask yourself, where exactly am I seeing my children? And start to raise them with that in mind. Identify their learning styles and love languages and respond uniquely to each child. Please, can you hear me? I can see. Please, can you hear me? Just let me know. We just say fire on, so that I can keep going. So identify their learning styles and love languages. So you have 2 children, for example. One child, okay, yes, I can see you all. I can see you all. Thank you. So you can see you have 2 children. One's love language, let's say, is gift. Another one's love language is spending time. And the one that is gift, for example, you are just spending time with the one that is that loves, you know, spending time with the one that loves gift. And the one that loves gift will be thinking, Me, it's gift I want. You don't have to spend you don't have to spend all day with me. Mom, you're okay. You will see some children, they will be going all over you, hugging you. Mom, come and play with me, come and spend time with me. Okay. So you want to learn that, okay, what is my child's love language, right? Because it's with that love language, because trust me, if you are just buying gift, let's say for example a child that likes you to spend time with him or her, and you are just buying gift, the child will think you don't love. You will not get the best from that child. The child would not be its best, because the child is thinking, I don't need this gift, I need you. So in as much as you're able to understand, as soon as you're able to understand that, you start to respond. And that's why you see families, you say, these 4 children, they are all doing fine, but this particular one, the 3 of them, they are fine, or the 2, they are okay. These 2 is like, are they from different parents? No, they're not different parents. Maybe their parents use the same approach to raise them, and that is where intentional parenting is work, because you have to respond to each child. You can't use the same method for each child. Some of us, we might be blessed and the same method would work for each child. Maybe your children are similar, the same learning language styles, the same love languages, but trust me, many of them are not, they are all, even with 2, they are just, so different. That is why the same consequences cannot even work for some children. So that's when you see a particular child, you say, I've beaten this child. This child is not listening. And you say, and this, the brother, when you beat him like this, he will just listen. He will, his head will autocorrect. But this girl beat her 100 million times. She will still not do what she's meant to do. That means you have to sit down and think, what exactly, how am I passing my message across to this child? The child is not getting you. The beating is not getting to that child. Yes, it's getting to another child, but it's not getting the best from another, the other child. And that's why I always tell parents that you have to calm down. Say calm down. You have to calm down to be able to understand that what are the love languages. How best can I communicate with each of my children? What are the learning styles? Learning styles too. If you are interested, I think we have, a couple of support or information on this one, how to discover their learning styles. When you know the learning styles, you know there are some children that are, visual. Some of them are auditory, for example. A child that is auditory and you are using visual to teach the child cannot get you. You cannot get the best from the child. Whereas some children, when you just talk to them, they understand you. But some children, you have to describe, you have to show them what exactly you expect them to do before they understand you. Whereas you'll be thinking, must I repeat myself before you understand? No, this particular child, maybe you need to show the child and describe it. That, see, this is how you do it. This is how you put it. This is how you hold it. This is how you put it down. Are you getting me? That is how you get. This is what intentional parenting is. This is how you get the best from each, of your children. Then invest in their talents and gifts as well. How will you feel? When your husband, let me give an example now. Your husband is investing in your business, in your career. You feel loved. So it's the same with these children. Whatever they like to do, and don't wait till they are old, though. It's from a very young age. Whatever your children like to do, if they like to write, if they like drama, if they like to dance, register them in classes. Thank God for the online world. You can see the world has changed now. The way we were thinking before, everything has changed. There's nothing you're looking for. There's no support or resources you're looking for your children that you will not get online. You don't even need to take them to any physical class. There are so many online classes for children now that you can register them. Oh, my child loves to act. My child loves to dance. Register them somewhere or buy books that can help them develop that gift. And when you start to see, thank you so much, Dodger. Thank you so much. So when you start to see that, okay, these are the talents and you are investing in it, what happens to those children? They are excited. They are happy that, mommy knows, daddy knows what I love to do. They are interested in me. And what will start to happen? They'll start to listen to you more. They will start to be invested in you. They want to do things that will make you happy as well, because you are doing things to make them happy. It's just pure, it's psychological. It's as simple as that. If you're always interested in what your child is interested in, your child will be interested in you as well. So now tell me, fire on. So we move on. So talk about their, many times we always talk about what they're not doing right. Whereas start to talk about what they're doing right. Yes, I'm not saying we should not correct them, but as you are correcting them and complaining, you have not done this, you have not done this. And please stop telling your children you're a naughty boy. you're a naughty girl, you can say, don't be naughty. Stop labeling these children, okay? Stop using negative words to correct your children and say, oh, what would they say? You are a thief, you're a liar. Say, you're lying. Why are you lying? You don't need to lie, So start to talk about what they're doing right. If they've done something, if you see your toddlers pick their toys, even without you telling them to pick it, say, wow, amazing, well done. You picked your toy by yourself, well done, clap for yourself, high five. You see, they will be excited. What would happen? Next time, the child will want to continue to pick those toys from the floor. If you have teenage children, every time we'll be saying, teenagers, their own is too much. Trust me, it is you. They don't want you nagging them all the time. So when you see your teenager that has washed his dishes or her dishes, and you did not remind the teenager, rather than say, hey, you washed your plates today, say, thank you, well done. I didn't need to remind you. You're growing up so quickly. Mommy is proud of you. What will happen? Next time, the child will want to what? Wash the dishes, because children like for us to praise them. They like for us to see that, oh, we are acknowledging and we can see them. But what do we do as parents? Is what is not right that we are always seeing. So what happens? Tell me, psychologically, what happens? Your children will start to do what is not right because they know that that is what gets gets your attention. It's as simple as that. When you start to see that, when I start to, do the right things, when they do the right things and they're getting my attention, they would want to always do the right things. Even if they do the wrong thing, they are sorry and they can apologize that, Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was wrong, because they will make mistakes. So it's not robot children that we are raising, because they are learning stuff, they're growing. So what do you want to do? What do you expect? They would make mistakes, but they are quick to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. But when you are always seeing the wrong things that, all the time, what would they do? Well, let me do something wrong. That's all she sees. Anyway, she will just complain, nag and shout. That's all, So let's start to, talk about what they're doing right more. And when they've not done something right, they are willing to listen, because they know that when they do the right thing, you praise them, you acknowledge them, and you thank them for doing, the right thing. The same way they thank you, Mommy, thank you for this food. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for, paying my school fees. That's the same way. Thank you for being a responsible child. Thank you for doing your chores at the right time. Okay, so it's not every time that they've messed up their room, you just complain. The days that they tidy the room, what did you say? What did you say to them? So we move. So the next one is, so choose your battle. Choose your battle, because what you want to start to ask yourself is, what really matters? This has really helped me a lot. What really matters now? And focus on it till you get results. Then you can pick an area to focus on. But what do we do as moms? Every time we want to do what? We want to face all the battle, everything. You want them to be of good character. You want them to listen. You want them to tidy their room. You want them not to be messy. You want them to know how to cook. You want how many things? You too, how many things can you do? Okay, so choose your battle. So this is how I explain on how moms should choose their battle. What do you want to focus on now at every stage? Okay, I want my children, because trust me, the first place to get started is getting your child to listen. If your child, you have a 2 years old that is not listening to you, from 1 year, they can adequately understand what you're saying. So if you're telling me a child, even your 1-year-old child, and you're saying you don't do that, you're not meant to do that, and that child is not listening to you, trust me, you need to do more work. So the first thing you want to start focusing on is, how do I get my children to listen? Like, that's what I focused, I focused more on my journey when I started my journey into parenting. How can I get my children to listen? That even when they are misbehaving, even when they're not doing what is right, when I correct them, they're able to say, oh, okay, I did not know. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't know it was wrong. Not that they would be arguing with you or they would not listen to you. So what do you want to choose? Choose something. When you have finish, you're successful in getting your child to listen, then you now move forward and say, okay, maybe it's tidying up, So choose your battle. So there's some days, maybe my children, let's say they are cooking now and they mess up the kitchen. I will not be shouting, see my kitchen, come and tidy, and I'll be screaming around the house. No, I'll just call them, because shouting, they can hear me. I don't need to shout. So what do? I just call them. Oh, you need to do, you just cooked. Why did you mess up this place? But some of us, we think it's by shouting. So I'm choosing my battle, because I don't need to shout because they've messed up the kitchen. It's their mess. Let them come and clean it up. Okay? So it's not everything you need to talk or complain about. There's some, I always, the litmus I give is, okay, what is, when your child is doing this, will it affect the child's, character? Will it affect the child's, psychology or something? So a child does not wash dishes. Maybe you just want the child to be responsible and all that, so you need to work on that, right? But if their room is untidy at times, once in a while, it's not like anything is going to happen to that child. But if a child is not listening to you, if a child is talking back at you, then it's something that you need to work on. So those are how you choose your battle. Will anything happen? Will the world, end if I don't shout? So that's how you choose your battles when it comes to your children. Pick one at a time and focus on it. When you get results, you move to the next one. So guide to effective parenting. 4 areas. So guide to effective parenting, 4 areas that you need to start to focus on now. So I hope you're following me. I hope you can see my screen. So guide to effective parenting, 4 areas. I'm going to discuss these 4 areas you should focus on. So please come with me. So you have 4: exposure, boundaries, communication, and bonding time. And be a good role model. So what do I mean? When it comes to exposure, age appropriate content, not limited to sexual, because when it comes to content, what we're always thinking about is sexual content. Oh, they are kissing, close your eyes. What are you watching? What is this? Is it, that is the only thing we're usually concerned about, as parents. Whereas, what of violence? We always forget about violence. We always forget about bad language, because even some of us, we use bad languages. You'll be cursing people in front of your children and you don't expect them to curse other people. You must be joking, right? You must be joking. And reaction. Some of us are watching movies that they are slapping and beating and kicking each other up. And you're thinking, where is your child learning this from? Please check the content you expose your children to. In this digital age, for you to be an intentional parent and raise the best version of your children in this age that we are in, you have to be deliberate about what you expose your children to. It's not everything. It's not everything that they should see. But some of us, we are selfish. We can say, me too, I'm watching the TV. I want to enjoy my life. I've not watched TV all day. Then what happens? Get your children to sleep, go to their, to bed on time, so that you can focus on your own TV, or you watch it on your phone or something. But be careful of what you expose your children to. I don't want to dwell so much on this, because I know I've spoken about it before, but please just tell yourself, and all this, this content, even their games, their PS, PlayStations, their tabs, the games they play on their tabs, the TV programs they watch, everything has age rating. Age rating. So when you're buying a game, when you're allowing your children to watch some programs, check it out. What is the age rating? And that is how you know what exactly you know how to censor what your children should watch. Even there are some things that are appropriate for them that you have to even also censor and see if it is right for your child to watch it. So be very deliberate about what your children watch, and that is how you start to get the best from your children. Then boundaries. Set this ahead of time with age appropriate consequences, and be clear with your expectations. What do we do? Many times, what do we do as parents is when they've done something wrong, you now say, I'm going to punish you. You did this. But did you tell that child that when you do this, this will be the consequences of your action? Many times we don't carry them along. We don't state, what our expectations are. So well ahead of time, you call your children, especially from age 3. You sit them down. When you don't do this, this will be the consequences to your action. Your teenage children, when you don't do your chores on time, ask them what should be the consequences of your action. From age 5, age 5, 6, you can actually ask them what the consequences should be. Trust me, they will even give you consequences that are beyond imagination. You just tell them, chill, don't worry. You don't need to go to all that, to all that point. Say, this is the consequence. So set it ahead of time. And that is how you see, no need to be screaming and shouting all over the place, because the consequences are there. And let them write it down. Let them, or you write it down, because you can forget. We are so busy and life is happening to us. So it's not one consequence you put in your head. So put it on your phone, put it down. So as soon as they've done something right, as soon as they've crossed the line, what do? This is the consequences to your action. And what will they start to do? They will start to beg you, mommy, I'm sorry. They wouldn't be doing like, but you didn't tell me. Many times when we are punishing them, they are thinking, but you didn't tell me. But now you've told them. So all they need to you will start to do is, start to beg you. Then communicate with them. Communicate with them. This builds trust. and spend time with them. Your children like you to spend time with them, and it's not about quantity of time, quality. It might just be even if it's 15 minutes that you can start with of quality time, that you leave your phones, you leave everything, and you bond with your child. That would work. And if you can start with 30 minutes, it's fine. But we're not talking quantity of time, we're talking quality time here. So use that time to talk to them. I know we've gotten, we've got amazing, reviews on our Conwords game. And what we created that, to improve communication, with children, because with children and parents, because what we found out was that many parents were saying, I'm trying to talk, they are not talking, they are not talking, they are not asking questions. So what we did with that game, was to improve communication. Like, if you ask questions, you get your feedback, and you start to gist from that. And we've had amazing responses, feedback as to that. Okay, so you can buy board games, you can buy Conword games. If you're interested in Conword games, you can reach out to us. You can buy any form of game. There's so many board games out there as well, to improve communication and bonding time with your children, just to stir up conversation. Then be a good role model. This is the number one, despite the fact that it is the last there is the most important, because do as I do, not as I say. The children of the digital age needs you to be a good role model. So always ask yourself, whatever you're saying, if you're talking to your house help, or to other people, strangers, in a certain way, disrespectful way, your children are going to do the same, and they're going to do it to you. So it's not even about strangers. They see you talk, in a certain way to other people, they will do it to you, because they will think it's right. That's the right way to talk to people when you're not happy about it. So be a good role model. I don't need to dwell much about this. We know this. We know what a good role model is. Tell yourself, do I want my child to be exactly like me? Please put it there in the chat board. Let me shake this one. Ask yourself, tell yourself, type there, I want my child to be like me. If you already like how you are, but if you don't, say, I don't want my child to be like me for now, but I'm changing. I don't want my child to be like me for now. So that's the litmus. So always ask yourself, wherever you're doing anything, because they're watching, do I want my child, to be, like me? If you are getting, value, I want you to just, put it on your stories, because what I've noticed as well, Instagram stories, what I've noticed is that moms, you don't want to share how you are, you're making it happen with your children, with your families and friends. The secret sauce, the secret sauce of Mummyclinicc, share it with the workbook. We told you, tag us at Mummyclinicc. You did not tag us. You did not tag us. So please go on your stories now and share that, I'm benefiting. Join through the link in bio. Let them come and join the rest now, what we've got left. So tag and say what you've learned, you've been learning today. So go to your Instagram pages, share it. This is what I'm benefiting now. This is what is going on. It will give us so much joy, and it will bring, put the message out there for more parents to enjoy their life. Don't let us enjoy it alone. Other moms need to enjoy this journey with us as well. So we move on. So I hope that you've gotten value. Let me see, have you gotten value? Have we gotten value? So get your workbook. We're moving on to the workbook. Have you gotten value? Let me know. Type it that I'm getting it. Hey, I'm going to be intentional. Type it in the chat box. I'm going to be an intentional mommy. I'm going to be intentional. Type it in the chat box. I'm going to be an intentional mom. So we move on. Please get your workbook. I'm going to get mine as well. Get your workbook out. So we're moving to workbook very soon. So let me summarize before we move to the workbook. So intentional parenting. Get your workbook out. Be prepared. We're moving. I'll just summarize now. So in summary, intentional parenting is more work. Trust me, it's more work. Oh, I will not lie. It's work to be intentional. You can see, to weed a garden is not easy. To water the garden is not easy. To prune, it is not easy for both you and your children. Okay, so it's not easy, but trust me, the benefits. You would not believe, even with this webinar that I held today, my children were my team. Like when everything was catching, they were the ones doing this, putting this in. But if I've not done my work, I would not have help. I would not have the support that I needed today, because as moms, we need that support. You need it later on in life, but you cannot get that support if you've not supported your children now. If you've not done your work now to be intentional, you will not get it. So it was my children that were going all over the systems, click here, click there. And how old are they? Trust me. But it's intentional parenting that has got us here. It is not easy, but the benefit as your children grow into adults is enormous. Then children thrive with consistency. Be consistent. Type in, I will be consistent, because if you're not consistent, you would lose it. Because some of you will go with all power today. You say, I'm going to do this work. I'm going to be an intentional mom. You will be an intentional mom for 1 month. 2 months into it, you say, hey, okay, I think I'm getting the best out of my children. They are behaving. And you now stop. What do you stop? You stop weeding. You stop tending your garden. You stop nurturing, because you think that the water you have put is enough. It is never enough. Parenting is a continuous work. So be consistent. Whatever you do, continue to do it. Continue to put in that work. Parenting is not work that you start today and finish tomorrow. It's for life. Even by the time your children are adults, what happens? You start to work on grandchildren as well. So be consistent, because it's consistency. Because children are very manipulative. If they do something today and you tolerate it, you don't stand your ground, you don't enforce your boundaries, they will do it again for you the next time. But some of us, we do the right thing today, we do the wrong thing tomorrow. We tolerate nonsense today, we tolerate good tomorrow. Consistency, you cannot get the best out of your children. You are not intentional when you're not consistent. So please, I beg of you, be consistent. Say that I would be consistent. Then never tolerate inappropriate behavior, please. Anything that you see, I always tell moms, ask yourself, if your 1-year-old is biting you and you are saying, oh, he's still a baby. If your 13-year-old is biting you, will you be happy with it? Will you not want to slap that? Are you all right? Would you not want to do that? And that is it. Anything that you would not tolerate from your 6-month-old baby, then do something about it. Do something about it. Don't wait till when your children are older or they're teenagers and you now start to lose them at that point, because you've not been consistent with your journey. So anything you will not accept now. If you don't want your children dressing in a certain way now, ask yourself, if I'm wearing bomb shorts, let me shake another one again. If I'm wearing bomb shorts for my 3-year-old daughter, if my 15-year-old, if she's my 15 years, if she's wearing bomb shorts, am I okay with it? If you're okay with it, by all means, leave the child. Let the child wear it. Okay? But it's not when the child is 15, you'll be saying, don't wear bomb shorts. It's inappropriate. Whatever you would not take from your child now, today, whatever you're not going to take from your child in the future, don't take it today. Yes, that is it. Whatever you're not going to take from your teenage child, don't take it today. So your children wouldn't resent you, because they would say, but mom, you've always accepted it. They're thinking in their head, your 5-year-old is thinking, but mom, you've always accepted this. You've always allowed me to do this. Now I'm now 10, you're now complaining. And that is when they start to, resent you. That's when they rebel and all that. So always ask yourself, whatever your child does to you today, would you be able to tolerate it when the child is even an adult or older? If you cannot tolerate it, do something about it now. And like I've said, parenting is a continuous work. You should never give up on a child. Continue till you get it right. There's always that right that right button. You might press so many buttons, but just continue to try. When you try something is not working, change it. Don't be stuck. You are not a tree. Move it. Okay, move it. So always, don't give up. You can see a child that you are putting in so much work and you're saying, I've tried. Even everything Mummyclinicc is saying, I've tried it, but this child is still not getting it. Continue. And if you're not getting it, try another method. Try something else to get the best from the child, but don't ever, I repeat it again, give up on your child, because that is where your miracle is. That is where the success is. Success is not about today. It's about the future. Okay? There's power in your tongue. Use positive words. use positive words to correct your children. So rather than say, like I've said, you are a liar, you say, you don't have to lie. Why did you lie? Okay, you are stupid. Why are you being, silly? Why are you being stupid? Don't label a child with with a name or with something. Correct positively. Correction is good, but correct positively. If not, your child will start to compare themselves with those negative words. So know that your tongue has, you've got power there. So use positive words. Always listen to your children. Communication is two-way, but what do? Many times you just want to talk, 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 talk. Correct. You are not asking for feedback. Okay, did you understand what I said? Did you listen to me? What do? We'll just talk, 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 and at the end of the day, we say bye-bye. What happened the next time? They are not listening. But when you ask questions, why did you do that? What happened? What were you thinking? If they ask you something, okay, why are you asking? So that is how you improve communication. Communication is two-way. And if you don't listen to your child, they are most likely, not to listen to you. So you want to do more listening, especially when you've gotten, you have children that are siblings. The one is they are quarreling, and you're saying, oh, you are the big brother. You should understand and, just accept your little brother like that. No, listen, ask what happened before the older brother did what he did. Listen to that child. Don't just make a conclusion. Listen, then you can now say, oh, okay, oh, so sorry. Oh, yeah, apologize. Apologize to your brother now. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, you know what? He's your little brother. That is how you communicate with children. You don't just say, you are the big brother, you are the big sister. You should understand. No, it doesn't, it doesn't work that way. Okay? So that's how you start to get the best from your children. So I hope our workbook is ready, and I hope that you've gotten value. We've come to the end of the webinar presentation, and we are moving to the workbook discussion, and this will be so insightful. I'm really looking forward to it. And like I've said, if you wait till the end, I've got a beautiful, wonderful gift for you. But I know that you are getting value, and I know that you're going to stay with me till the end. So let me know, type it out. If you have your workbook with you, type it out so that I know if you're going to follow, or I need to also get to the page. Let me get to my own page as well. So let me know if you're with your workbook. Say, I'm with my workbook. So even if you're not going to, you can just get a pen. Let me tell you what this workbook is going to do to you. At the end of the year, this workbook is something you can just save it somewhere and review your parenting journey every year. At the end of every year, you look at it and say, oh, I've done well. Oh, I need to improve in this certain area. Okay, so that is what I need you to do. So let me know. Good job. Moms, we mean business. I'm so excited that we're taking our journey seriously. Trust me, if you take your journey seriously, you would enjoy it. I'm enjoying my parenting life, and it's not just my 2 PAs. They stress me. We even stress each other, but we're enjoying the process. We enjoy the process because we know it's a journey, and we have chosen to enjoy it irrespective of whatever it is. We've chosen to, so we're going to start from page 5. So you can get a pen. You must write. It's either you are typing in the comment section or you are writing. I would even advise you do both. Write it in the comment section. If you can catch up, you can put it in the comment section. But most importantly, you must have it written down, because you are going to review yourself at the end, right? Because this workbook, what it will do is it's going to keep you accountable. You know what you're doing right and what you're not doing right. So I need you to engage. Feel free to share your responses in the chat box. There's something, about when you speak out or you speak something into existence, you attract it. I do it a lot. I just speak it into existence. If I'm not doing something right, I tell people I'm not doing something right. I need help. I need to sort it out, because as soon as I speak it out, I get a solution to it. So speak it out. Don't feel any way that, they would be saying I'm not a good mom. We're all changing tonight. Even if we've not been the best that we think we should be, that's why we're here to learn. Okay, so you put it in the chat box and you say, your responses, and you write it down, because you're going to keep it to review later in the year. So we move forward. So number 5, the first question is page 5. So why do you want to be an intentional parent? Is either type it out, write it. Why? Because let me give you an example. Some of us, we want to be intentional maybe to to impress other people so that they know that we are doing the right thing. No. Why? Maybe because I want to raise well-rounded adults, right? I want, when I'm a grandma, I want to smile at those people that even married my children and say, grandmom, you did a good job on this boy. You did a good job on this girl. We're so proud of them. How, why do you want to grow old and have peace of mind? Because some of us, if we're not intentional, when we're old, we will not have peace of mind. Maybe they'll be calling us, oh, see what your child has done today. See what your child has done today. See, their daddy this has done this. Mommy this has done this. So what do you want? You should know what you want. Why do you want to be an intentional parent? So if you're able to answer that, then it solves a lot, in your moving forward. So that is one of my purpose on earth, that they are my first ministry. Good. Exactly. To be an intentional parent is God's purpose. God, let me even go into that a bit. Train up your child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. It's an instruction. It's a purpose. So that is, somebody's, aspiration as well. That is what she wants, to fulfill God's purpose for our children. So we move to the next question, for peace of mind and joy. Exactly. Me, I even like peace. Peace. I want to be old that, when I'm going on my holidays, nobody is calling me that one child is. I want peace of mind as well. Purposeful, then also peace of mind. I want to enjoy. I don't want to be looking old. As for those people that joined early, you saw my face now. I don't want to look old though. I want to enjoy peaceful parenting. So we move to the next question. How was your parenting journey last year? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? 10 being the highest. How was it? And don't judge. Don't judge. Some of us, maybe, let's say 3 years ago, you were not even trying at all. But when you started to follow Mummyclinicc, you started to say, this is making sense. I need to do this. I need to do this. So your 0 went to 3. So your 3 is still good for now. So don't say, oh, because you are 3. So don't feel judgmental of yourself and say, oh, my parenting, I feel like I've scored 3 and it's bad. It's not bad. Compare it to where you are coming from as well. So let me know. Type it there. How was your parenting journey last year? Did you do so much? Maybe you were just shouting, complaining. How was it? Grade yourself. Like, I tried though, but I think it's about 5. I tried. I did well. I've taken, I have so many resources. I'm, trying my best. It is 8. Or, Temi, I just got to know about you today. I just got to know about Mummyclinicc today. I'm still on a 1, but I'm very deliberate with everything I've heard today to start to do better. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because when we start to acknowledge that, okay, we need help, we need to do something different, that is when you start to get help. If you are 0 and you say you are 10, you're deceiving yourself at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you are truthful to yourself. Thank you. I can see the 5s, because it's telling us that we still have room to improve on. I also have room to improve on as well in my own parenting as well. So don't think, oh, it's because Temi is Mummyclinicc. Me too, I have areas to, improve on. We all have areas to improve on. So even if it's 8 or 9, we still have, it's not 10. Nobody can be 10. we can only give ourselves 10 when they are now grown up adults, and we can look back and say, I've done this work. Okay. So give yourself, and are you happy with your score? So some of us, you might be 3, like I'm happy with it now, because if I compare it to where I'm coming from, I went from 0 in 2019, I went to 3, in 2020. I went to 3 in 2020. So how are you? But some of us, we're not happy. I'm not happy. I don't need to be shouting and screaming. I don't need to struggle this much with raising my children. I'm not happy. I think I need to do better. So just drop it there. I think I was 5 on the scale of parenting last year. Well done, moms. I can see it. The 4, I can see it. We all need, room for improvement. And I am so happy that, we're acknowledging that we need to, we have room for improvement, as well. So we move to the next one. What are the things you did last year that you don't want to do this year as a parent? So put that down too. I give my well done to say, well done everybody. Okay, it's to break the yoke of shaft. Well done. I can see it. Well done. So we move to the next one. What are the things you did in the last year that you don't want to do this year as a parent? So maybe some of us were just spanking. We spanked and spanked and spanked, and it still did not give us results. So what did you do that you don't want to do again? Put it out there. Some of us, maybe our children were not sleeping on time, and you were seeing it, or you always see it on Mummyclinicc. Get your children to sleep, get your children to sleep. You are ignoring it, but you are seeing that the sleep pattern of your children are not good, and you want it to improve. So it can be any area, right? Maybe some of us, maybe you did not spend so much time with your children, and you want to do it better this year. So just put it there. What are the things that you did last year that you don't want to do? So I don't want to, be an absent parent. I don't want to use negative words. Thank you so much. Impatient. Oh, no. Thank you so much. Impatience and shouting. You don't want to use negative words. And as you're putting it there, trust me, you start to see a change because you're already accountable to your words. So write it there. It seems a lot of us do a lot of, shouting and spanking. So, but you are not happy about it because you can see it's not getting you the desired result. So we move to the next one. What are the things you want to improve on as a parent? What do you want to be better for this year? I want to be a parent. You know that some of the questions are kind of, similar, but they are different. I know what I'm doing when I did this because I want you to outrightly know what exactly you want and what you don't want again. So what are the things you want to improve on? Write it down. I want to be, I don't want to shout again. I don't want, you want to improve on, write it down, write it in your workbook, because at the end of the year, you would look back and you will see how much progress that you have made. So how do you want your children to see you this year? Do you want them to see you as a calm mom? Do you want them to see you as a loving mom? Do you want them to see you as a patient mom? Do you want them to see you as an understanding mom? Do you want them to see you as a mom that does not nag? Like some of us can nag. Oh. So how do you want them to see? Do you want your children to see you as a good example? Put it there. Do you want your children to see you happy? Because some of us, our children will be looking, Mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? If your child is asking you every day, Mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? Then you need to start to do something differently because they don't want you to be unhappy. Because if you're unhappy, you will raise unhappy children, okay? So we move to the next one. What steps do you plan to take to be a more intentional parent this year? What steps? Write it down because it's not about you just talking. You have to put it down in writing that this is the step, because if you don't do anything about everything we have learned today, like I said, you will still be frustrated and overwhelmed. So what steps are you going to take? So some of us, the steps we need to take is maybe we need to join a community. Maybe some of you need to go and turn on post notification on Mummyclinicc so that you don't miss any post like that will give you, points, tips, day-to-day tips on how to get started with your children. So if that is what you need, I think that's number one. Go and turn on post notification. Let me even put that out there. Let me turn on post notification so that I don't miss any of Mummyclinicc's tips in getting me, very intentional in my parenting journey this year. Some of us, we need to register for some classes. Some of us, we need to go and go to Google as well to search how I can be better in this. Some of us, we just need to be patient. Some of us, we need therapy. Some of us, we need to see a professional because maybe our mental state of mind is not even, there yet, where we have been broken. Some of us might need to get help. And if you would know that when you need, some of us, any small thing your children do, they've not even done so much. You're already cranky, you're unhappy, you're touchy. Some of us might even need to get help. So put it out there. When you know your problem, you know how to get a solution to it. You know who to go to when you have been able to identify, the steps that you need to take to be an intentional parent. Then we move to list the names of your children. List their names. What they do. What do your children... Okay, let me... Just a moment. So list the names of your children and what they do that makes you upset. So some children, they are not listening. Some children, maybe they are too messy. Some children, they just don't, it appears like they don't care. Some of them is like maybe it's they are playful, which play is good, but you just have to redirect it positively. So what is it? Write the name of that child and put it there that this child, this is what makes me upset. Because some of us, it might even the way your children put their things that just set you on fire, like, oh no, you've done this again today. Write it down. What makes you upset? when you know what makes you upset, you start to know what exactly you need to do to correct it. Then the next one is, okay, list the names of these same children again and write it beside it. What makes you happy? I'm sure many of the things they make, they do make us happy as well. And what would that do? Why did I do this particular exercise? So that you are also grateful for your children. Because many times we focus on the negatives. We focus on what they are not doing right, and we forget what they are doing right. When many times my children, when I see they've not done, something right at times, I'm always happy with what they're doing right, because what they're doing right compensates for what they're not doing right. So I now say, you guys should not have done this now. So I don't need to shout. I don't need to be upset, because I know they're doing so many things right as well, in as much as they might do some things that are not right. So this is what this exercise will do for you, because what they are doing right would give you joy, would compensate and tell you that, okay, at least they're doing something right. That means I just need to tweak and do some more things to start to help them to get those things that they're not doing right, to get them to do it right. So we'll move to the next question. What do you think you can do about what makes you upset, so that they can start to handle or respond better and not react? So like I can see that many people are saying, oh, shouting, nagging, spanking, and all that, right? So what will you start to do? So maybe you need to buy a book that can help you as regards that. Maybe you just need to be more patient, with these children. So what do you think you can do? Put it in your paper as well. This is what I think I can do. Because when you can do something about what is happening, what they're doing, then you have the solution. You have the guide, and it starts to, it becomes better at the end of it all. You start to get the best of them, because you've already found solution to what gives you headache. Because many times is when you are having headache and you don't go and take the paracetamol. That's why you continue to have the headache. But when you already know that, it's headache that I have, okay, it's paracetamol I need, then you get the paracetamol. So we move to the next one. How do you intend to partner with your spouse or family members? Some of us, for us to be intentional, we need to come on the same page, get on the same page with yes, I can see your responses. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will get to them. So some of us, we need to be on the same page with our husbands or wives, if you're a man on this live stream. Some of us, maybe you're a single mom, maybe you're living with your parents. You need to be on the same page with your parents, because trust me, with children, if you are saying you cannot do this and grandma is saying you can do this, you're confusing the child. So maybe after this session, you need to go and speak with your husband that, what, babe, this is what, and don't force anybody, especially when it comes to your husband. Don't force them. You have to start to do the right thing and let him see the change. But you have to have conversations that I've learned this. I think we need to start to do this. I think, some of us, we need to have those conversations with our spouse, because it's not about us alone. And with our grandparents, if we're living with parents, if we're living with, family friends, whoever you're living with, don't say, oh, they talk to you. Maybe, let's say now you don't want to use bad languages on your children again, and you see your mom cursing your child. You have to say, start to go and have a conversation with your parents or your partner. Please, when you curse, it comes to pass. So let's start to be intentional, about it. Okay? So you need to have that conversation, so that everybody is on the same page, and we're all in this intentional journey. Because if you are not consistent with every members of the family, then it starts to confuse the children. They start to think, oh, this person will be on their side. So some of us, we need to have, do something about it. So write it down what you need to do. Then list the outcomes you want to see in your children this year. Everything you need to see in your children, write everything down in your paper. I want my children to listen more, because you are calling the things that are not into existence. My children will listen more this year. My children will be more tidier this year. My children will do their chores on time. My children will be more knowledgeable in their studies. My children will take their studies seriously. Everything that you want from your children, write it down. Write it down, the outcomes you want. So you know the work you are going to put in. List the steps you are going to take to achieve this, okay? Everything. So some of us, you need to understand their love languages. Some of you need to understand their learning styles to get the best from them. Put it there, because it makes life easier for you, and it makes you get the best from your children as well. So list all your steps there. Then we move to the next one. List 3 areas you want to improve on as a parent. So we've said that before, but now limit it to 3. Limit it to 3, so that by the end of this year, you will say, I tried. Me, Tosin Taiwo, I tried. I did not shout so much this year. I did not spank this year. I was intentional, this year. I was a more patient mom because many of us were not patient. I became more patient. I started to choose my battles more this year. So list those two areas that you want to, focus on this year. So that at the end of the year, you can say, I'm really proud of myself that I did this. Then the next one, list the steps. List the steps you're going to take to achieve that as well. So then next one, I think this will be the final question. What kind of adult do you want your child to become? So this would now sum up why you are even being intentional. When you know the kind of adult you want your child to become, some of us, we want them to be successful, right? You want your child to be successful. What are you going to do? You can't just raise a successful child just like that. You have to be very intentional about everything, and success is relative. So it might be success in the sense that, oh, I want my child to become this person, this type of person, or I want my child to be, a person of character, of integrity. Our tactics will be different, and that's why parenting journey is different. So stay with me till the end. So what do you need to do? What kind of adults do you want them to become? And this would help you know what exactly you would need to start to do to raise the best version of your child. And this is the most beautiful part. The write a letter. Write a letter to yourself on how proud you would be of yourself and the results you achieve at the end of the year on the effort and the work you put into becoming a more intentional parent. So this is write a letter to yourself today. Be writing it now. Be writing it now, because now everything is still there. That at the end of this year, I will be proud of myself for being an intentional parent. And trust me, you would indeed be really proud of yourself for being an intentional parent. You can write this letter and keep it in a safe place. You can write it and screenshot it and put it on your phone so that you are even seeing it. I like that. I'm always seeing it on my phone. I will be looking at it that this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to be proud of myself for being intentional, with my journey this year and the years to come, really the years to come. So I hope, how many people, did you enjoy the exercise? Did you enjoy the exercise? Ensure that you write that letter, because that is what, when you are reading this letter at the end of this year, honestly, I've done this exercise, but you will be in tears as to how far you have gone this year. Write it, everything that you want to be proud of yourself about, write it there so that when you are reading it at the end of the year, that I'm proud of you, Tammy, because you did this, you put in this effort, you did what you're supposed to do, you took all the steps that you're meant to take in being an intentional, parent. And this, so so thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I know there's a lot of questions going on through our minds, because I've seen so many of us are saying, oh, I shout too much, I nag too much. You know what? I've got you sorted. For you to even have, this amount of, you've gotten this value to this time. If you're, are you willing to pay for further help? Because some of us, we need further help. Oh. We need it. Some of us, we need further help, because I cannot teach you everything that you need to do in getting your children to listen, but I have an irresistible, offer for you. Let me just quickly get there right now. So are you willing to pay for further help? Like, we've already seen it that, hey, I cannot shout, oh, I cannot do this. You can